welcome to Friday Nights with Emma. As you can see, Link's definitely, he's determined to help tonight. How is everybody? Have you got a drink with you? Back to the Sauvignon Blanc tonight because I didn't have any cough tonic in the fridge. So, roughing it. Link. Sorry, Link's being naughty. Just give everybody a minute to join. Give us a little thumbs up, a little heart. Say hi to Mikey behind the camera. Oh, where's my block? What did I do with it? Ah, yeah, I did do one already. This is what I'm going to show you guys tonight. So we're doing, it's not a very nice name, Stack and Whack, but it comes out beautifully. Little kaleidoscope. And there's a couple of different ways of doing it. So I'm going to talk you through fabric choices even, pattern repeats and cutting, and then we'll get to do some stitching as well.
There are people here, but the comments aren't coming up.
Oh, we can't see what you're saying. Okay, I'll get started. So, I don't know why. This is the book that I'm using. Sadly, I don't have it in the shop, but I've looked and you can find it on Amazon. I'm pretty sure on eBay as well. It is called Magic Stack and Whack Quilts, and it is by a lady called Bethany Reynolds, and it has different patterns in here. So I'll show you. It talks a lot about fabric choices. Now this is an older book. I think this was from '98. So the fabric choices that she's got in here are a little bit dated, but the examples are still pretty good of what you can make from them. So it talks about fabric. She talks you through how to choose your fabric, how to cut it, which I will go through tonight as well. Piecing, all of that, how to line up all your fabric in detail, which I will also go through. And then once you get to a certain point, you start having patterns. So sadly, I made a poppy quilt like this, but I can't find it. Well, it's just a top at the moment. I haven't quilted it yet, but I couldn't find it. It's somewhere safe, super safe. So, but I will show you how to make that block. And the other one, this one is what I've started here. So that's one of the blocks that's going to be on there. No, Michael says he still can't see.
No, I apologize. The comments aren't coming up on the screen. We must be having technical difficulties. I see the people there.
Let me be Captain Kirk for a minute. You have a look at Link. Let me just see if I put something in there, it comes up. Yeah, I see people. Have joined.
Yeah. I see the people there, but the comments aren't coming up.
Yeah, comments aren't coming up tonight, I'm afraid. So yeah. So sorry. Won't be able to see any questions until later.
Yeah, put them as normal, and then Emma will get back to you.
Because I always go through all the comments after the show anyway. So yeah, I'll answer any questions that you've got there. So yeah, so that's that. So we start with fabric. Now, I've cut this one from this fabric. This is one I had. This is one I bought in specifically. It's not online yet. I was meant to do that today. It will be. I wouldn't recommend starting with this one. I'd recommend starting with something else. But just to show you, this is quite a short pattern repeat. It's just under 6 inches. And by pattern repeat, what we mean is, that's my ruler. So if I pick apart the pattern, so here, I'll show you. Let's see, let's pick apart the pattern. How about this heart design right here? You see it repeats again when you get to here. So you just need to measure how much, pick a point. So if I measure from the edge of this to the edge of that, it's literally just under, well, 1/8 of an inch under 6 inches. Now 6 inches is the smallest pattern repeat that you can get away with this method. So I've cut these, but I haven't cut my strips exactly as the instructions. I've actually done it slightly different, which I'll show you later. But this one I'd say use, if you want to use this fabric, one, because you've got a short pattern repeat, you only need about 1.25 meters, 1.5 meters to be on the safe side to get 8 patterns. So you need enough fabric so that you've got 8 pattern repeats. Now the shorter the repeat, the less fabric you need basically. But if you want that one, 1.5 meters, 1.25 meters will get you your 8 repeats. Got some more at the shop that I thought would be good. So it works really well with big random patterns that you wouldn't normally think about putting into a quilt, or you wouldn't be sure how to use it. So I've got this moon rabbit one. Now if I show you the pattern repeat on this, it's a bit larger. So if I pick a bunny, oh, this bunny was good. Let me do this bunny. So this little bunny right here that's sitting up with his little face. If I follow my pattern up, he appears again right here. So if I measure from that bunny, from the top of his head to the top of the head here, it's about 11.5 inches. So you'd need 8 times 11.5 inches in order to get your 8 repeats of pattern. You have to get the 8, it's important. So that's one that would work. And then I thought this one would work really well too. So this is the Mako of Britannia. There's not a pin in there. This one's got a much shorter repeat. Let's see. I think I measured it just under. So if I measure
Big Ben to Big Ben.
Big Ben to Big Queen Elizabeth Tower, it is again just 1/8 of an inch short of 6 inches. So that is again the smallest repeat that you'd be able to get away with. That one would work. Oh yes, I have a couple more. This one I think would work really well. In the book, she actually has some really random fabrics, and I think it would be a good idea to practice on a fabric that you wouldn't even think about. Something with a really wide, big pattern on it. So this one I think would work, but you could do something with animals on it or anything like that. Now if I measure from this bit of paisley to this bit of paisley, that one is 8 inches. So you need 8 times 8. I think that would be a good one to do. And then, what else have I got? I've only got a couple more, I promise, and then I'll get to the actual showing you. So I've got seashells. Now this one is a short repeat again. So if I go from this seashell to this seashell, that is again just under 1/8 of an inch under 6 inches. So that would just fit into the criteria. And then lastly, if you wanted one with a more subtle effect, if you have a lot of contrast, you're going to have a really nice defined pattern. But if you have something a little bit more subtle, you'll get something a little bit more subtle. So then I thought this would work too. It's a nice big pattern. This is quite a big repeat. So you would have a lot of fabric. You wouldn't need it all for one quilt. But if you and a friend really loved a particular fabric and it had a wide repeat, you would have enough to split it basically. So if I go from this rose to the bottom of this rose, it is about 17.5 inches repeat. So that is quite a wide repeat. So you would need quite a bit of fabric for that. And it does say in the book, depending on the size of your repeat, how much yardage you need of that particular fabric. Now, next step is we start cutting it. Now, I've got mine already pre-cut, although I have left one. I'll need to press that probably so I can show you. So what I've done my repeat is about 7 3/4 inches on this. So what I have done is you cut 8 rectangles that are exactly the same repeat. So this piece is exactly the same as that. So the patterns are all the same. And you need to stack them, basically, just like that. I'll show you how I cut it. There we go, just like that. That's that one. Let's see. Yeah, I can show you on here. So what I did, put those aside for now. This one hasn't been fully cut yet. So I'm cutting these. Let's see, which way do I do it? This way. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember how I don't think I can cut this one actually. That one will have to be as is. This one I can cut, because what I lined it up was a couple of motifs. So this was my first cut, this is my last one. So what I did was I picked a part of the pattern. So this clam and this clam, I lined that up, lined my ruler up. So my 4-inch line is lined up with the top of that clam, and it's lined up with the top of that clam. And then I cut it. Now, the reason I did that is because I couldn't really see another part of the pattern that would line up really well. That lined up really well. So I could have actually just lined up the edge of my ruler with that, but it didn't work out that way. So I had to line up one of my inner lines. So you line up your ruler, your lines, with a part of the pattern that you can easily identify, basically. So either on the edge, if that's easiest for you, or on one of the repeating pattern parts that you can see really easily. So long as it's consistent and you cut it the same, it will work. So I'm going to leave that one for the bottom. This one needs to be stacked like that. And I'm going to stack this one on the bottom because it's wider, but the pattern along the bottom edge is all the same. So I've got 8 stacks of rectangles, which the pattern, if I show you the pattern, if you focus on this green shell, it will all be the same all the way through. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 8 identical pieces. Now, here's my pins. Now we need to make sure that they do actually line up exactly on top of one another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a part of the pattern that I can see easily. So let's see. Oh yeah, that might be a good one. Or I'm finding a where. Oh, that's a good one. There's a point there, right at the point where of that star. So I'm going to put a pin through that point. I'll turn this around so you can see. So right through that point. Now I'm going to put it through that point on every rectangle so that I can get it all lined up exactly on top of each other. There we go. Like that. Just like that. There we go. And I'm going to repeat this at different points, at a few different points, so that it is completely lined up. That's one. Let all that line up. I find it's easy if you pull the pin all the way through and just let it hang, let it go how it wants. There we go. Try and line them up roughly along the edge.
Again, for those who might be joining late, we can't see the comments, but leave comments and Emma will
I'll get
back to you. We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to. So that's that one. Now, I'm going to use another pin and I'm going to pick another point. See, this might be a good one. Right there. So I'm going to, where that line hits that edge of the star, that's where I'm going to pin it. So there. 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 Now this does look faffy, but once it is all lined up and you start cutting, you can cut a lot of pieces to make each block. This is the faffiest, well, I'm not saying it's the faffiest part, but definitely take your time with this. This quilt in general, then it came out. This quilt in general is one of those that you do want to take your time with. This isn't a quick and easy one by any means, but the results that you get are so amazing and all so different depending on the fabric that you use. I'm actually kind of excited to see what this one's going to turn out like, because I've been saving this fabric, which I stole from Mum, because this is exactly Mum's style and colour. But when I saw it, I thought immediately it would work for this. And there happened to be exactly 8 repeats in the back, the piece of fabric that she had, so I definitely acquired it. So let me do that again. These stars seem to be having a good line to match up. So let me do that one. That one. That one. That one. There. There we go. There we go. There. Just wiggling it just to get it all aligned. Make sure it falls right. Right, so there's those. Should be the last one. Shouldn't be quite so much out, so we'll see. At least one more. Which bit do you want? That one? I was thinking about somewhere a bit more in the middle. Let's see, how about right there on the clam? Oh, it's not too bad. There we go. Sorry, this bit might be a little bit boring, but this is how you ensure that it lines up. And you can do more pins if you feel like you need them. That's right. Yeah, that's right. There we go. That's going to be it for me, I think. There, that should be fairly well lined up. There we go. Now, when you use the instructions, the patterns that will be in the book will tell you what size strips, pieces you need to cut. Now I know for this one, I need to cut strips which are 6 1/4 inches. So I'm going to, this is where you need either a very sharp rotary cutter, which I don't necessarily have right now, but so I'm just going to hack through it as best I can. You can do less of a stack, so a half stack, so 4 layers of fabric rather than the 8 that I'm going through at the minute. Just so long as they're all lined up the same. Oops, don't want to lose a Sauvignon. I'll just move that mat a little bit. Watch that iron. Actually, I'm going to use this one for this, just to go through the end. There we go. Very carefully rotate it around so I can get that other side. Make sure there's no pins under there. There. Now, 6 1/4. There we go. Now for the pattern that I'm doing, the first block that I want to do with this fabric, I'm going to cut half square triangles. I'm going to cut squares and then 2 triangles, just like that shape. Time's it? Oh, we've got time. So hopefully I'll be able to put this one together and then show you another shape to do, which is the blue one that I've been working on today. The book has a few different, you don't have to do them exactly this, you can do them differently, but I do like this, the way that this block comes out. It's also fun when you, I know it's a pain for the cutting, but once you see the magic happen. Okay, now I need to cut some squares, which are 6 1/4. So if I do a little bit over the first one, that should do. So 6 1/4, it's right there. Now once you've cut them, you do need to keep your stacks together because you're going to have 8 triangles which are all the same, which you will use all together. So that's the edge. Now just cut that in half. Naturally, once all this COVID is over and we can have classes again, I think this would be a really good one for a weekend class. Right, pins. I'm just going to pin these together because I want them to stay. That's all of my shapes, which should be the same. There we go. Just going to finish cutting this because I don't want them to get out of line. If I move it, so I'm just going to finish cutting these. So each set is going to make one block. Six and a quarter. Put that aside. Right. There we go. That. Put a pin through that one so it stays nice. Ooh, now we can see. So let me just lay these out so you can have a look. So it goes like that. It goes like that. Is that right? Oh, it goes there, I think. The middles definitely go like this.
Shouldn't that shell match up with that shell?
No.
No.
No. It's supposed to look like a kaleidoscope, so all the pieces want to go. See this shell? It should all be the same way.
Just a reminder, we cannot see the comments. Emma will respond to comments.
Yeah.
If you leave them after the show. I apologize.
There you go. If you want to take a view from the top, you can really see the pattern.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah. And they all look different. So let me lay this one out with the curves. There we go. So it will be that and that and that. There we go. And that will go there. Oops. There we go. And there. There. And there. There. So that's what my block, once it's finished, will kind of look like. So if I leave that as it is, and if I move these ones out of the way and get a different set, you'll see how they differ. Pin that one. Let's see about this one. Oh, and you can do it the other way too. I'll have to remember that. So. Wait, that goes there. So yes, it is fiddly to get the cutting done and make sure everything's lined up, but look how much fun that is. And, sorry, I'll talk without that in my mouth. You can take, it doesn't have to be the most amazing fabric. You'd be surprised at how even the most mundane fabrics that you think might be ugly will just look amazing once you've done the stack and whack. So let me show you that way, and then if we do this, look, get this out of the way, you can do the other way. They all have to be going the same. There might be a way that you like much better. I kind of like this, how the way this is starting to come out in the middle. That. So it can look completely different depending on which way you orientate it.
I think I like that way better.
Yeah, I quite like that way. So you've got the centre bit. Right, so putting these ones together. So this one's a little bit different to the other one. So if I move these out, you'll see you've got 4 pieces that are 2 triangles together, and then 4 that have the triangle and the rectangle. So if I put these together like this, if I put a pin, actually put a pin in there. There we go. Right, now I know that is going to be my sew line, so I'll put that right there. There we go. And these are going to be sewn along there. I'll get some sewing done. Okay. Now, 1/4 inch seam allowances are important for this one, and I already checked mine. So with a lot of machines, and you can check whether yours will do it, if you've got it, sewing straight, so on a straight stitch, if you hit the stitch width button one way or the other, your needle may move slightly to the left or to the right, and you can adjust your needle position, nudge it one way or the other. So for this one, I've actually had to move my needle one position more to the left, so I've just nudged it a little bit more to the left, but just check yours. But it is important to have just a proper 1/4 inch seam allowance for this. This isn't one you can really fudge. And I'm going to press my seams. Press my seams open as well. I can hear your belly going.
Is that me?
Maybe it's Link. Is Link around? His belly rumbles. I was a bit lonely tonight. I haven't been able to say hello to anybody or...
Yes,
Oh,
again,
anybody.
apologies. The comments don't seem to be working. But Emma will pick them up after the broadcast and respond. Keep the questions coming.
Yeah. There we go. That's one of these.
However, according to the camera, we have an audience of 70.
Ooh. Hello. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's had a good Friday the 13th in 2020. Right, so this is my side seam. Trying to think if I have any news to tell anybody, but I don't think I do. You moan at me for doing that. He's playing with my rotary cutter. He moans at me for leaving it open, and he's playing with it.
I closed it.
Okay, so these, got 2 more to go. I'm going to press the seams open for them, which is not something you normally do. But because you're going to have 8 seams coming together in the middle, you want to reduce the bulk. Go, last one. Pin. Oh, what happened there? It's not good. Oh, okay. I might have to restitch that bit because it's coming undone a little bit. Got caught, I don't know why. There we go. See, I did it again. Everything else seems to be. Threads the same top and bottom. There we go. Okay. Now this fabric, all this fabric actually, I've been putting aside to do this for a long time. All this lovely background fabric, this lovely purple, is from Travis's mum. I've had that since Michigan.
It's been a while then.
It has been a while, so I'm quite excited that I'm getting to use it now. That's going to be trimmed, so I don't worry too much about that. That's one bit. Yeah, we got time. We should be able to see this one finished at least, and I can show you quickly how I did the other one, the second pattern in the book. That one is different half triangle. these are coming up quite big. So these are bigger triangles than I cut from the other fabric, because my repeat was a lot smaller for my other fabric, which works well on the smaller blocks anyway. Ooh.
Where's your jack?
My jack? Oh, I haven't needed him. He's around somewhere. I have to admit, this wool mat has been perfect, especially perfect for these blocks. Oh, Joanne, if you're watching, yours is on your way to you. I sent it off today. Thank you very much for your orders. Much appreciated. Oh, I've seen some lovely advent panels. People have been sending me pictures. Annette sent me a picture of her lovely advent panels that she's been doing. Ooh.
Maybe your needle's going.
Could be. It could be. I might need a new one. That's very astute of you.
Mm.
You're learning, young cricket. Okay, oh no, one more. One more. Hopefully this will match well. That looks a slightly different shape triangle. We'll make it work. There we go. Now let's put our block back together so we can get reorientated.
Again, apologies about the comments.
Yeah, sorry, it feels really quiet without all of you. There we go. There we go. There we go.
I must have hit a button or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Other way.
There we go. Now we're going to do them in pairs. So I'm going to sew that onto that. That onto that. Yeah, that's the same. So we'll do that. That onto that. There we go. And that onto that. Comme ça. Can you pass me those orange scissors, please, my love? I'm just going to trim this little dog ear here. Easier. Now, when you're sewing these together, you do have to be very careful because some of it is going to be bias edge. So you want to be really careful not to stretch it out of shape. quiet. I think I must have found a hobby. Got the last one. Go. I'm going to press those open again. I need to do some trimming on the next bit. Good, Monty. Hello, Monty.
Goodness. Eat yours.
So Monty is supposed to eat the senior food, but he likes to eat Link's instead.
I swear I'm just going to put both seniors because Link eats his.
I don't really know what the difference is. Anybody know what the difference is between regular and senior? We should know that, but hang on.
It's probably nothing.
Just the label?
Just the label. Of course, they're only getting half because the other half is on the renal food.
Renal food, yeah. One. I'm quite excited about this one. I've been saving the fabric for so long. Oops. There we go. Now, I know I need to trim, so let me double check. Although it does say to, sorry, I'm trying to remember how I did it because I did the puppy one before. So I figure, it says 338B. It says to trim it afterwards, so let me see how they're joined. Lay the triangle on top of the other unit right sides together, the rectangle is bound, sew with a quarter inch. Yeah, you sew it and then trim it. Okay, so you sew it on first and then trim it, the extra. So let's recreate this block again. It's going to be like that. So we're going to have two halves, essentially. Just like that. I do like that. So we need to sew this onto here. And then, it's the tricky bit, to line that up with that corner there. And so 1/4 inch. So there. And then this one onto here. line that up. Line up that corner. Oh, I'm out of pins. Let's work. Might need one more, so that's another one. There we go. I'm going to sew down this side, sew down that side. There we go. So one thing I am going to do before I start is make sure that these seams are aligned. So I'm just going through straight from one seam straight to the other. There we go. Oh, move that out of the way so you can see. So it's straight up and down, aligned. Take that out. I'm going to put my foot straight over the dog ears. I'm not trimming it first. There we go. Make sure the little edges are lined up. Now when I get to my extra, I'm just lifting my foot up to ease that bar over the extra so it doesn't ruck up. And then I'm just using my guide along the edge of that triangle to make my 1/4 of an inch. Oh, this is where I could have used my jacket. It's puckering a little bit. Oh, behave. Well, we'll see how that turns out. Now, this one. Same thing. Pin, pin, pin. I'm not normally a pinner, as you know, but you do need to pin for this one.
I think you are a pinner.
There we go. Get all that under there. Make sure it's all lined up. Oh, I might go over again. I do want to show you how the other block is done. There. There we go. Trim those off. Now I can just trim this off right here. This was the scissors. There we go. And this one. Put it back in the cushion. Trim those off. Press them open. Then we've got the last seam. So it's gone together pretty quick. I mean, I did pre-cut the background ones just a few minutes before going on, but everything else was cut tonight, and they do go together quite quickly. Come on, there we go. There we go. There we go. Again, I wouldn't normally press open, but you do need to do it for these ones, just to reduce that bulk in the middle. So that's one side. And here's the other.
Come on, Monty. You want to come up?
Right, I'm just going to go straight into the last one. So I've got 2 halves. Definitely pin the middle, so you will have where your other 2 seams are. I'm going to put a pin straight through that, straight through that. That's pinned. There's Monty. Hello, Monty. Come on, Miss Monty.
What look is that, Monty?
You got something wrong? I think it. Oh, I don't know. Something wrong with your ear, buddy?
Careful, Monty. You're gonna get yourself burnt.
There we go. That's pinned. Needle. Pin this end. There we go. Make that nice and aligned. There we are. Okay. Last seam for this block. Now. I'm in trouble with this one because it's going that way. I can't really see. So I'm just going to finger press that over. There. So I've just finger pressed that over. So I've got a crease to follow with my guide. Hold my strings. There we go. Make sure it's all lined up underneath. You're going viral, Monty. There we go. Just about on time. Finish this one. Come on. There we are. Using the pin cushion. Voila. Oh, got to trim. Almost forgot to trim.
Oh.
Oh, you can see the comments now?
I just got one from Lori.
Oh, hi, Laurie.
She says I'm getting a purple glitter unpicked also.
Ooh, nice.
So I don't know. It's the only one.
It's the only one.
It's obviously hit something. I'll take the blame.
Yeah, good. You still get a little bit of bulk in there, but just press that down. That side. I do really like this technique.
Oh. Now they're coming through.
Oh, yay, yay, yay.
Your Sarah says,
Oh, hi, Sarah.
Got some gorgeous nail foils in for you for Xmas, if we're ever allowed to open. Jackie says, welcome home. Karen says it looks great from the back too.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, these.
There we go.
These are.
There we are.
These are all from the beginning. For some reason now they're all uploading.
Yeah. So there we are. So that's that one, and that one, that block is the first pattern. What's it called? Half square triangle magic. That's the block that makes up that one. Now, for the blue fabric, I'm going to make that. And the block is a little bit different. Let's see if I've got another picture. I don't think they do. Oh yeah, that's another bigger one. But essentially, good boy, Monty. You're good. You're gonna have a block like that. Oh, I don't think I've got the other. And then for the next block over, you take some and add the dark blue in it to make the same eight triangled block, but with blue in between, so you get that lovely effect. So I'm going to put that aside for now because I want to show you how I cut that. Where's my aha. So these were my strips. I'll have to realign them again. These were my strips. Now, instead of cutting the repeat exactly, because it's exactly 6 inches, I skipped ahead to the instructions, and the instructions tell you to cut it to 4.5 inches. So remember on my first one, I cut it to the repeat, then I had to trim it down to 6.25. Well, this one, I went straight ahead and cut it straight away to 4.5. And by doing that, I managed to save a strip just under 2 inches in between each repeat that I can then use for a border if I want to, because they're all the same. So it saves me wasting some fabric. Now, I won't be too long. I just want to show you this one. So let me just try and line it up again. And I'll show you. So this one was cut from squares, and then you cut them into triangles. This one, you cut diamonds, and then you cut the diamonds in half to make triangles. Oh, that's actually pretty lined up. This is that one. And there's two more just here. You helping out, Monty? You're being a good helper. Yes, you are. He's a good boy. Any more comments coming through? Or are they all just old? Well, not old, but are there too many?
There's too many. They're all sort of, I think, mixing and matching now.
Okay, so that's lined up just like that. Now, in the back of the pattern book, it gives you templates. So this is the diamond shape I was telling you about. Now the instructions say you can either cut one of these shapes out of plastic and use that as a guide. And then you stick the plastic onto the back of your ruler to use that. Or you can do what I just did, is just trace out your shape on your ruler. So that's what I did with my marker pen. It's just a Sharpie, and that will come off with some nail polish remover. So I've just done the outline so that I can trim it. I can use my ruler to cut. So what you do is you line up these edges with each edge of your strip. Actually, let me do it this way. Like that. So I'm lining it up. I'm going to, because I don't have a clean edge, I'm going to line it up. Normally if I was cutting it, I would line it up with this edge as well as the top and side edges, but I want to cut a nice clean edge on that side, so I'm just lining it up with top and bottom. Just like that. Then I'll turn that around and line it up again. So this time I am lining it up. Oops. Top and bottom and side. Just like that. Watch your tail, Monty. Just like that. And then you cut from long corner to long corner to make 2 sets of triangles. There we go. And then these, put pins through this one. And you can see what they would look like. These ones you can't do the other way. So with those you can flip them because they're the way the triangle is. But this one is only going to be this way. But I still think that's quite fun. And each one comes out slightly differently, depending on where on the pattern you've cut it. So if you want to have a top view of that, I'll do this one too so you can see. Because this is a smaller pattern, they're not going to differ quite as much. There we go. There we go. And that's how you do that. So there. So I've gone over a little bit. I think I'll leave it there for everybody. I'll go through all the comments and answer any questions or answer anything because we couldn't do it live. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. This is the book again, if you want to see it. So it's Magic Stack and Whack Quilts by Bethany Reynolds. That's what it looks like. You can find it on Amazon. I did see it on there. It's like $13.99 or something like that. But I'm sure you can get it used because it's an old book, but I don't think it's necessarily out of print because it is quite popular. So yeah. So thanks for joining. Sorry we couldn't talk through all the comments, but hopefully you enjoyed that. And have a good weekend. And cheers. Bye.
Night all.